Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Exploring the East Coast. I'm here at Potter's Bar where I'm starting today's exploration of 6 stations. These are the last 6 stations on the East Coast Mainline south of Morpeth that I've not done. So after this episode it's going to be the very north of England and into Scotland. But today we're covering the section of line between Welham Green and Oakleigh Park. The 6 stations are Welham Green, Brookmans Park, Potter's Bar, Hadley Wood, New Barnet and Oakleigh Park. But first, welcome to Flights and Times. So I've started here at Potter's Bar. I'm about an hour and a quarter later than originally planned. The cold weather has caused a few points issues on railways this morning. It's the week in December of the National Rail strikes. It's the Thursday, so the one day that there's not strikes this week. So I've made it down here to Potter's Bar. There was snow about 3-4 days ago, Monday I think. And the temperatures haven't risen since, so it's still very white on the ground and very icy. I think it's -6 at Potter's Bar currently. So yeah, this Potter's Bar is a small town just north of the M25, just outside of Greater London. It has London buses connecting it to more of the London suburbs, and to get here there is a half-hourly Thameslink service between King's Cross and Cambridge. There is also a half-hourly service between Moorgate and Welwyn Garden City. So I'm going to see what else is here in the town centre, and then head up back up to the station to go to the next stop. So from what I can tell, doing a bit of research, there aren't any particularly notable buildings around Potter's Bar. It is very much a commuter town. It used to be a small farming town until the Great Northern Railway, now the East Coast Mainline, rocked up to town. A few famous people from here, most notably Martin Freeman, the actor. He's the only one I'd heard of, if I'm honest. Yeah, this is kind of Potter's Bar town centre. It's mainly commuter belt, this part of the East Coast Mainline. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of just town or village centres today. But yeah, this is Potter's Bar. So I'm back at the station. As you can see, got 4 platforms, 2 northbound, 2 southbound. I'm going to be catching the half-hourly service between Welwyn Garden City and Moorgate, 2 stops down the line to New Barnet. Before I do that, I want to quickly touch on what Potter's Bar is probably most notable for in recent years, and unfortunately that is the 2008 Potter's Bar rail crash. Just south of the station, that way, set of points, a fast King's Cross to King's Lynn service crossed that set of points, and as it did, the points moved under the train, causing the rear 2 carriages to derail, and one of the carriages to mount up on the platform. 47 people died, 76 injured. But the key reason behind all that was essentially cost cutting by rail track at the time, in terms of track inspections, etc. And whilst I don't usually touch on politics, and whilst there is an element of pay behind the rail strikes this week, one of the key things is about cost cutting, reducing the number of staff and making them work more hours. And we've been here before with the railways, and it resulted in a number of rail crashes, and we really don't want to go back to those days. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say on the topic. But yeah, so I've got about 15 minutes until the service down to New Barnet, and we'll go and see what's there. So as you can see, I've jumped off at New Barnet. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have time to explore the surrounding area. The train I've just got down here was 20 minutes late, which means my 30 minutes here to explore has become 10. Unless I want to be another half hour behind and essentially be 90 minutes down on my schedule I'd come up with. So unfortunately I'm not going to do that. However, quick bit about New Barnet. The station here on the East Coast Mainline, it's got the half hourly Welham Garden City to Moorgate service, so 2 trains an hour in each direction. No other services on the East Coast call here regularly. However, in that direction you've got High Barnet tube station on the Northern Line, and in that direction you've got Cockfosters tube station on the Piccadilly line. So this area of North London is fairly well served. To be honest, looking on Google Maps and doing a bit of research, there wasn't much around here. Again, mostly residential, very much commuter belt. So yeah, unfortunately I'm not going to explore New Barnet at all, or other than the station. So both station looks like once it was quite a nice traditional Great Northern station. Looking rather tired, could do with a bit of a little bit of refurbishment. Technically has 4 platforms, however the ones on the fast line are fenced off because they've not been used in years, and to prevent people getting too close to the non-stop trains. But yeah, so essentially 2 regularly used platforms, 1 and 4 by the half hourly Great Northern service. So, Oakleigh Park, the most southern of the 6 stations I'm covering today, and once again it's all residential, there's nothing much here. I'll be honest, when I was researching these 6 stations for this episode, it looked like it was going to be a struggle. There is, yeah, it's all residential, nothing pops out on Google Maps, nothing I can really find, but we're ticking them all off. So yeah, essentially it's going to be a quick less than 15-minute turnaround here again to head back north, and then I'll only be half an hour behind schedule. Ooh, the lighting's a bit terrible here, isn't it? Trying here, there we go. So other than Potter's Bar, all the stations I've been to so far, very few facilities, no toilets, no step-free access. There are oyster readers in this bit here, no ticket gates. New Barnet had ticket gates and oyster readers. Here's got a ticket office, there didn't have a ticket office, so it's a bit of a hot pot. Lots of stations, again, as I said, they're very much like New Barnet in could do with a bit of a refresh. Lots of you can see that First Capital Connect branding. Can't remember when First Capital Connect ceased to be the operator here, but it was a while ago. But yeah, that's pretty much here. Once again, only the half hourly Great Northern service between Moorgate and Welham here, so 2 trains an hour in each direction. But yeah, so this is Oakleigh Park. So all of the Moorgate to Welham Garden City services, along with the Moorgate to Stevenage via Hertford services are operated by Class 717s. These are nice new trains, a couple of years old now. Very similar to the Class 700 on Thameslink. However, these were ordered by Great Northern as opposed to the government on behalf of Thameslink, and so they're a little bit less featureless, shall we say. It's only standard class, and there aren't any toilets. That's the one downside of these, no toilets, but very short commuter journeys mainly on here. In standard class, every pair of seats has a plug socket, better than Thameslink. There is free Wi-Fi, better than most of Thameslink, although Thameslink are retrofitting Wi-Fi onto some of their trains. Well, theoretically all of them, but it's taking forever.
We will shortly be arriving.
So yeah, the 717s are nice trains. We are now approaching Hadley Wood, the next stop on this Exploring the East Coast, which is a station I quite enjoy passing through. It's between two tunnels in a nice cutting, and I'll show you the scenery when I jump off. I'm quite enjoying all this snow, if I'm honest. Getting a bit icy now though. So there is actually step-free access to platform 4. I think only platform 4, not platform 1 here at Hadley Wood, which is via the slope. I've just come down, I'll put in a cutaway. So yeah, I wouldn't want to try and use that with a wheeled, either a wheelchair or pram or something like that today. Very icy. But yeah, we're next to the London Greenbelt here. More open fields. I think it's actually after the next tunnel where there is a nice sweeping downfield to the railway. So I'll try and get a video of that as we go past north on the train. But yeah, Hadley Wood. There are some toilets here on platform 4. They're out of order. There is a ticket office. It is closed. There are ticket machines. I didn't try them out, but because I've already got tickets, but I assume they work. I hope they work. Once again, 4 platforms, no access to the central 2 as they are fast trains only, don't call here. Quite a nice mock Tudor house up there, and then there is a Hadley Wood community planting project here. Yeah, some new vegetation habitats since 2018. So yeah, I think that's what all this is. Excuse me whilst we get video bombed by Great Northern. So yeah, this is kind of it again for Hadley Wood. Not much here. Again, only the half-hourly Great Northern service between Welham and Moorgate. So yeah, that's Hadley Wood. So just found this notice board for the Hadley Wood Rail User Group, which has a little notice saying step-free access only available from the northbound platform here, but if you want to travel south, you can go one stop north to Potters Bar and change there for free. So yeah. So I'm now in Brookmans Park, the penultimate station and area I'm visiting on this episode. I've just been for an excellent lunch in the Brookmans pub. I'll show you a clip of inside and me lunch alongside this. I'm not sure whether it's always been a pub, but it's a very grand building inside. Centre of Brookmans, again, residential area. Various shops and stuff, hairdressers, bakery, quite a nice residential area it seems. But yeah, so this is Brookmans Park. Again, nothing really in the surrounding area that I can think of, but yeah, very nice area. So I'm just walking back to Brookmans Park station to head off to our last stop. But a bit more about what's in the area. Outside the M25 north of Potters Bar now, so a bit more in the countryside. Some nice open fields adjacent to the railway, etc. Off in that direction, just to the south, is Royal Veterinary College. Founded in the late 1700s. It's Britain's most prestigious and oldest veterinary college, one of only 9 in the UK. So yeah, that's located just outside of Brookmans Park. Station wise, again, 4 platforms. Fast line ones aren't used, just 1 and 4 for the half-hourly Great Northern services. A bit weird because you have to go up off the platforms, over a footbridge, down, then up onto this footbridge to cross into the town centre. So yeah, this is Brookmans Park. So here we are, the final station of this episode, Welham Green. Probably the smallest and least used. Unlike all the other stations, this only has 2 platforms, no platforms on the fast lines. So just platforms 1 and 2 here. Again, just for half-hourly Great Northern service between Moorgate and Welwyn Garden City. There's a ticket office that's closed. There are card readers, not Oyster at this point. Oyster's not valid out here, just contactless and whatever Great Northern's card thing is. There is some seating. That's pretty much it here at Welham Green. Again, the surrounding area, residential. It's a bit of the suburb of Hatfield. That's the next station up the line behind me, which you can see all about in a previous episode of Exploring the East Coast. But yeah, that's it from Welham Green. Yeah. So there is one thing of note in Welham Green, about 15 minutes in that direction, and that is a memorial to aviation pioneer Vincenzo Lunardi. So you may ask why there is a memorial to an Italian aviation pioneer in a small village in Hertfordshire. Well, that's because in 1794 Lunardi took a demonstration flight in a hydrogen balloon from Artillery Field in London, which eventually ended up further into Hertfordshire. However, 3 miles away near Brookmans Park, Lunardi touched down to release the cat that he had been travelling with, that had become unwell. So yeah, that is why, randomly, there is a memorial to an Italian aviation pioneer here in Hertfordshire. So that's it for this episode of Exploring the East Coast. Apologies for it being so light on detail. This was a tricky bit of the East Coast Main Line to find things to do. It is very much commuter belt. But yeah, so that's it. That's everything south of Morpeth now ticked off. So the next episode will be somewhere north of there. I'm either going to base myself in Newcastle or Edinburgh and tick off some more for the next episode. I don't know when that will be though. So yeah, thank you for joining me on this rather chilly day. But yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.